What's up, YouTube? Mr. Ferguson behind the camera here. Hope you guys are having a great day today. We are going to be doing an application spray-wise here in a second. Before I grab all this and take it up there, I just briefly was going to show you Miss Ferguson's idea, not mine. She's the somewhat more organized. I like to be organized. She's more organized, but we took everything out. We kind of did like a late spring cleaning and blew the shed out, kind of reorganized it. I don't have nearly as many bottles and products as I used to have, but it feels nice. I just wanted to show you. It feels nice to be organized. Our blower's doing real well, by the way. This is that Amazon blower. If you're looking for a backpack blower, in all seriousness, Mr. Kevin's even interested in it. This thing has been awesome. It starts on one pull. I don't even really have to choke it. I start it with the knob up, and then I just put it back down into go, and it's ready to fire up, and it's light. It is so light as a feather. It feels good on the back, good to go. But I'm grabbing the grabbing the sprayer, and we're going to grab some Azoxy here. We need our Azoxy. I've got to make sure I get my stir right here to be able to mix up the product as well. And then running out, as always, of my propiconazole here. But let's talk about fungicides, why we're applying it now, when you should reapply, and yeah, let's do the deed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in today. Hopefully, being away from the camera, it makes me nervous with this mic. Hopefully the audio will come out well for this, but thank you so much for tuning in. We've got the sprayer down here on the ground. We've got lots of things. I don't know how well you can see what's here. I'll try to hold it up to the camera when we talk about it, but we're only going to talk briefly for a minute, and then we're going to apply. It's time to reapply my fungicides to the lawn. This is critical. This is important. I actually just looked up on domyown.com as well as Amazon that right now the Azoxy 2SC is actually, the prices dropped way down, $69 and $68 on Do My Own and Amazon. It's like $1 difference. There's not a real big difference, but Amazon, I think, can now overnight it to my house at least. I could get this in the morning if I order it right now. So we'll leave links to Amazon and Do My Own down below. If you need azoxystrobin, it's a group 11 fungicide. It is the same liquid that is in Scott's Disease X. If you don't have a backpack sprayer to be able to do what I'm doing today, you can buy Scott's Disease X. I'll leave that link down below as well. You can get it on Amazon, and I believe it covers 5,000 square feet. I'm not positive, but you can have that, and you can put it out with your spreader, granular, and protect yourself. I was looking up just a little bit of the details. We know that our fungicides last, for whatever reason, 28 days. Don't know why that is. I've even heard Pete say, I have no clue why it is 28 days. But right around 21, 22, 23 day mark from our last application, we need to be reapplying. But we know that we don't want to go past 28 days and then apply, because then we've broken our window of prevention and protection from our fungicide products. And I was reading how Azoxy 2SC specifically is most effective when you do it preventatively. When you start seeing fungus in your lawn and then you're like, oh, no big deal, I'll put down some Azoxy and Propy, it actually is not as effective as it is if you do it to prevent fungus in the first place. So just want to throw that out there. Maybe you've been debating, well, I need to do fungicides, but I don't really care that much, or I don't have the money. It's on sale now. I believe I also saw on Amazon, I believe, $195 for a whole gallon of this. This was like $120 a couple Christmases ago, and my wife gave this to me for Christmas back in the day, and it was like $120 for this pint size. But now you can get a whole gallon for $195, and you're using 0.5 ounces at a time. So that gallon can last you a long time if you got the upfront money, kind of similar to Velocity PM. But anyways, this will have links to this as well as Mr. Propiconazole. This is a favorite for everybody. I'll just tell you just one of my stories. My dad, I pulled up in his driveway. I told you guys, if you've been around the channel for a while, he said, what is this in my lawn? He's got Scott's Turf Type Tall Fescue. And so anyways, he's like, I've got these little brown things popping up. Well, what it is brown patch, the swirl of brown patch begin to develop in Dad's lawn. He don't do anything with fungicides and preventatively put it out. It's just not my dad. But he's like, what is this? And he had the beginning of like 4 different spots of brown patch begin to develop in my dad's lawn about 25 minutes away from my house. And I said, you need to get you some propiconazole and you need to put down heavy, because now you've not prevented, you're infected. You've got to use more of this to now cure it from your lawn. So he went heavy. I think he put like 3 ounces in his 2-gallon, you know, three ounces times 2. So he put about 6 ounces of propiconazole in his 2-gallon sprayer I gave him, and sprayed the front yard. And sure enough, in several weeks I came back, it was cured, it was gone. It took some time, but it stopped it from spreading. That's what fungicides do. They stop the disease in its tracks, and then it begins to grow out over time, and it will go away with time as we continue to mow. So that's kind of, you know, just one of my propiconazole stories. When I went to the NC State class and the fungicide speaker got up with both warm and cool season, he said this is the best combo to stay protected from, you know, this is a group 3, this is a group 11. We're putting these both together in my backpack sprayer at the same time to have both of these to cover and protect from both of the things that these fungicides protect us from. So not just one, not just the other, both of them together. In addition to that, and we've talked about how long they last, 28 days. So every 21, we try to reapply. That's why I'm glad I'm making this video, because you're encouraging me to go ahead and do my second application, stay on top of it. In addition to that, we've talked about this previously. Some of you may not seen that video in the past, but we're doing this oII-ys. This is natural adjuvant. I've listened to Pete for a long time. He talked about it. I just wasn't going into it, but this is natural adjuvant, which helps you to use the lower rates of your fungicides, the lower rates of your fertilizers. And basically, long story short, this product can help with water retention in your lawn. If you're applying it with your fungicides, you don't have to water this in. This allows, basically, the best way that I can explain it from hearing it from a professional, GCI turf, which buys this by the gallons. I don't even know how many tons, but they talk about they use this in the yards that they are treating in Reedsville, North Carolina. GCI turf buys this by the gallons, and they're using this in the products they maintain. It helps with water retention. It helps to basically open the plant to receive the products that you're putting down, whether it's fertilizer, whether it's fungicides. In this case, it's fungicides. It's immediately going to work and beginning to protect. And because we're using this, you can use the minimal amounts, the lowest amounts that's recommended on the label, which is 0.5. It's 0.5 per thousand for this guy, 0.5 per thousand for propiconazole, and 0.5 per thousand for azoxystrobin. And that's it. So we're going to mix this together. So we'll just show you real fast what we're going to do here. And so I'm going to be really quick at high speed. So go back, listen again if you need to slow it down. But first thing, we're going to do our product first. So azoxy. I got my gloves on, I got my eyewear, so we should be good and safe as we can be. So we're going to do 4 ounces total. This is for me and for my lawn and my square footage. I do the same amount every time, and I've been fine. So 0.5 per thousand, and I'm walking at a high speed and the output that I'm doing. So I always do 4 ounces. That's my mix that I've always done, and it seems to be doing well for me. So azoxy's first. It don't matter which one you put in first, but you want to make sure, this is expensive stuff, so we want to make sure we wash our cup out and get as much of it in the tank as possible. All right, that's in the tank. So next thing we're going to do is our propiconazole. Now, propiconazole does bubble up some. It's foamy, so I try to get the water near the top first, if that makes sense, so that we don't make a whole lot of, I kind of think about beer. I'm not a beer drinker, but you know how you get all the foam at the top and the liquid doesn't start till down there? Yeah, somebody's going to crucify me for my analogy here, but Propy likes to foam up. So I try to get the water level a little higher, but I didn't do that today. We'll see if it works out fine. It's just kind of annoying when it bubbles up and you got to treat it. So we're going to wash it out into the cup. So we got both products. I'm going to add all the water all the way up to the top here before we mix. We do need to mix this together. We want to mix up the azoxy and mix up the Propy. Now we want to take our pH meter, and just when I cut it on, let's see, let me turn it off and let me turn it on. It's naturally at 8.5, 8.6, 8.7. Looks like it's jumped up to 9. So naturally, just holding it in the air, it's up to 9. So now we're just going to dip this bottom portion into the mix. And looking at it, where it's going up, it's at 7.3. So we are definitely above 5. So it doesn't matter how high it goes. Really, we need a little bit of the citric acid salt. And I'm going to turn this back off. We're going to set our meter to the side. Now I keep mine in a Ziploc bag here. We're going to undo it. We're going to get out our citric sand, citric acid. This is 100% citric acid. So it doesn't take a lot, and you can, be greedy with it and stingy with it. But we want to mix it in. So we want to pour some of this in. I think that's going to be enough. You just shake some in. We're going to set it to the side. We're now going to blend it into the mix, the whole entire mix, because we don't want to measure the citric acid on top. So we want to blend that in. So now we're going to recheck with our pH meter. We're going to turn this bad boy on. It's actually still showing 7 on here. Let's dip it down in there. And wow, yeah, we're down to 2.3. So that citric acid, I could have put less. So our mix is absolutely good to go. Wipe this off. I got these rubber gloves on. We're good. We're done with the pH meter. We can cap that, put it back in its case so we don't mess it up or lose it. Like Mr. Ferguson is prone to do. We're done with our citric acid. We do not need to add anything. So now that we have checked it and we are definitely below 5, we can add in our 4 ounces total of natural adjuvant. So we'll do that now, blend it in, and we're good to go. So let's do that with our cup. This is Propy. We need natural adjuvant. Let's mix that, shake it a little bit. And you can be generous with the natural adjuvant. This is less expensive, but it is expensive sometimes. So we're going right at 4 ounces. You can add a little more. I've seen Pete add more or less if you desire. Now that we have, and I'm going to wash off my stir. So now that we have successfully mixed that in, we're done with this. This can also go down to the shed. I'll take here in a second. Our drill goes back inside. We can put our top on. Now it is time to apply. So I can feel somebody already because, like Carson used to put the envelope to his head. I can feel somebody say, man, this is way too much to do for that natural adjuvant, doing all that pH meter. I want to remind you, it wasn't until I began to implement the natural adjuvant into my lawn that I actually survived a summer. With my increased calcium levels on my soil test, as well as, I believe, using hydrotane, I think that helped a little bit. But using the natural adjuvant, I didn't even know till the following year when I heard Pete say this does help hydrate and help your turf hold water. So I think this has definitely been a part of it as well in me surviving summer, is using the natural adjuvant. And I have to put down the fungicides anyway. I've learned my lesson on that. So implementing the fungicides with the natural adjuvant, I really feel has helped my lawn. So we've got links to the natural adjuvant, to Azoxy, to Propy. All of that will be in the description below. I have to also just let you guys know, if you're interested and you're looking for a backpack sprayer, this one has been great. I charged that battery twice, 3 times since I've had it. It holds a charge so well on this Typhoon. It sprays well. The pressure is consistent to whatever level. It's got 5 levels of pressure. The high nozzle that is a GCI, I can't show you guys these due to Pete saying this is custom. He's looking at maybe possibly one day doing a patent on it. I don't know if that's still the case, but this is a widespread. You do that on level 5. For our trim pass, which is what I'm about to do right here, you do it on level 1. This flow zone has been phenomenal. So I have nothing but high regards. If you guys remember, I bought the Strom first. The Strom battery gave me problems. I bought a new battery. It gave me problems. But the flow zone Typhoon has been wonderful. I have no negative things to say about that. So with that said, and all that done, I didn't plan on walking that through you, but I just feel like this is such a critical thing. If you're going to buy the natural adjuvant, you got to know how to use it. So now that we've done that, the easy part is spreading it evenly amongst our yards, or among the yards. So now I'm going to do a trim pass. And I normally don't film that. I'll set you guys up in the front lawn and let you see the bulk spray. So let's do it. All right, guys, so there we go. We actually walked a little too fast today. I had some more left over than I typically did. I was trying with that bigger nozzle, the GCI nozzle over here, which I can show you now. This with the I don't know what you would call it. It's not really the nozzle that we're talking about. We're more or less talking about the, I don't even know, the stem. You've got the handle, and then you've got the actual attachment. I'm losing track of the word. Maybe it's the sun. Maybe I'm just a moron. But basically, this is a thicker version of what Flowzone sends you. I have one bad thing about it. It works great. I feel like I'm getting actually more pressure. It seems like it broadcasts it well, very well. This particular nozzle, again, I can't show it to you up close or tell you what it is, but it basically throws it out from basically this sidewalk from left to right. It's a wide pattern, so that's how we kind of got in trouble at the project lawn. Was too wide of a pattern. I overlapped, and some of that ornamic hurt the lawn. But this, it takes more to fill this tube up. It does have an angle at the end of it, so it does help to angle it down and away from your shoes. I'm looking at my shoes and they're completely dry. Sometimes with that straight one, I feel like I'm walking right through the product and it's getting on my shoes, but they're dry, so this angle helps. The one thing that I have, and it may be a nozzle thing, not an attachment thing, and that is that when I'm not spraying, it seems to drip out of the nozzle. And I don't know if that's because of this specific part or if it's a nozzle thing. So take it for what you will, but I enjoy it. Again, I can leave both of my nozzles hooked up to a rod. This is the one that came, you can see, this is the one that came with the Flowzone. It is a much shorter compared to this one. You can see the length of that at the bottom. You've got a much bigger attachment part. Well, they're actually about the same size there, but the length and the thickness of the piping here, and you got the angle on one versus not on the other one. It's a big difference. So I like having my trim nozzle just stay on this one, and I like having the broadcast nozzle on this one. So it is definitely 80 plus out here. I'm sweating like a pig behind this shirt. It's time for an orange Gatorade. But thank you for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed it. I got to clean up the sprayer here. Hope you guys have a fantastic day today. Take it easy. Like the video. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you in the next lawn care video. God bless you.